and welcome to ISTV News. Let's see the top stories that cross the desk of ISTV News today. NABARD electrifies villages in the remote hill areas of Manipur through micro-hydel power project. And instead of transferring only doctors, staff whose role in treating the patients is equally important should also be transferred. I'm Gabby Gomez, and now the news in detail. With an objective of alleviating the hardship being faced by the villagers in the remote hill areas of Manipur, NABARD has successfully taken up micro-hydel power project under its Rural Innovation Fund at Makui Thebram village, having more than 40 houses in Senapati district. Now the village is getting 24-hour power supply. General Manager of NABARD, M. Soren, has said if other villages in the interior hill areas where there is no electrification so far want the project installed at their villages, NABARD is ready to take up the project.
Particularly in Manipur, there are very remote places, villages are there. Hardly most of the villages, I think, hardly there is any electricity connection. So in the remotest village, we are able to give light to the villagers, at least even if it is only 29 households. So we are feeling happy along with them. Really, yes, some people have been benefited out of NABARD support.
Our video journalist Jiban Konsam and staff reporter Michael Jit Yumnam, who went to the village, filed this report. A team of NABARD officials, including General Manager M. Soren, DGM V.S. Gupta, Manager R.K. Yaipaba, Assistant Project Manager Senapati District I. Premjoy, and representatives of Tribal Youth Council, along with media persons, went to Makui Thebram village, about 80 kilometers from Senapati District headquarters, on the New Year Day to inspect the Kangui Micro-Hydel Power Project. The project was taken up at an estimated cost of 38 lakh and 30,000 rupees under the Rural Innovation Fund of NABARD. The project has started giving 24-hour power to more than 40 families at the village. The villagers of Makui Thebram village expressed joy at the project being taken up by NABARD at the village, of which access is difficult with the deplorable road connectivity. With enthusiastic efforts of the Tribal Youth Council, the project was taken up in 2011. An important office bearer of the Tribal Youth Council, Akam, said the project is being maintained by appointing caretakers, for which an amount of 100 rupees is collected from each family of the village per month. Thus the project is being successfully run, he said.
Project Hemdringi Mamangdi Imapo TV have sim Sakang the Bani. Adubu Asida Project Hablaga Mating and Bibi Yangang Ahinga, Larry Pavso Yare, TV Yengso Yare, on Tokton Adudi Hindoctona, Granter Paiba, Aduga Atopa, Motor Paiba have say Kudom Hangrina, Nabat Puse, Henning Alitana Tagali.
DGM of NABARD V.S. Gupta said people's cooperation is very much necessary in making a project successful and getting the benefits out of it. Since there is no one to look after the project taken up by either an NGO or the government, such project has ceased to function. However, as the members of the Tribal Youth Council are keenly looking after the project at the village, the project is able to run successfully, he said. General Manager of NABARD, M. Soren, said NABARD not only pays loans but also is taking up many development projects under the Rural Innovation Fund in villages. Thus, the Makui Thebram Micro-Hydel Power Project was taken up. Many more projects are going to be taken up at different parts of the state, but it is in the hands of the villagers whether to make the project successful or not, Soren said. Director of JNIMS, Professor M. Shyamo, has said that in order to improve the health sector in Manipur, instead of transferring only the doctors, other staff who take important role in treating the patients also need to be transferred, and improving the required infrastructure is important as well. Since it has to be done as a teamwork, doctors alone cannot take the initiative. He said this in an exclusive conversation with the ISTV News. He further said every district hospital needs to be improved so that there is no lack of facility.
District hospital singsi tip top point thamba all the 9 district tip top point thamba adagi khwaidagi luri bana district hospital amada posting tawraba doctor si yaragadi maduda leijaro hena sentum bauting thoga imphal gi mayon oriba district hospital natraga su jaga khar da leina kanno na masi kari gi lening dre no habisi government की साइड पे कि यामना डिटेल स्टडी में दरकार है फैसिलिटी वाट पे कि लेनिंग दा बरा नत्रगा वर्किंग एटमॉस्फेयर बजदबदी की लेनिंग दा बरा नत्रगा अतोपा डिस्टरबेंस दा की लेनिंग दा बरा है बदु गवर्नमेंट यामना मुन थिजिनबा में दरकार हो याने खाली इम्फाल दबु लाइरो बिशनपुर दबु लाइरो सरसानपुर दबु लाइरो तमिलनाडु दबु लाइरो लोइना मक्सी कर्म है तो उतना इक्वल फैसिलिटी बकनत्रसु सिमिलर फैसिलिटी पंगलगदी हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम से यहां भगत करनी ना चाहता हूं.
Dr. Sharma further said doctors and other paramedical staffs should also follow the guidelines of the government and go to their respective postings whether it is a far or near place. The self-made rules of some doctors of assigning their duties among themselves should be avoided. There are many innocent hill people who have never seen Imphal city. They are facing difficulties when they fall sick. People associated with health care should give up their thoughts of working only in the valley areas. If health care works are taken up simultaneously in hill and valley regions, it will also be a big help in creating integrity in Manipur.
Doctor और डॉक्टर खतन ऑपरेशन तौरगा डॉक्टर नतन हिदा म पीरगा हेल्थ केयर से हेते सक्सेसफुल हो गया है बिसी आते ऑपरेशन में संगिबा हेल्प तौर असिस्ट तौर नर्स टेक्नीशियन अनि ऑपरेशन तौर द सीजन है के दल खुजु खलाई दु क्लीन होइन थमनबा डिसइंफेक्शन सीजन नगा दौरिबा मही हाथों का दौरिबा अदि अना बद कुक का दौरिबा फी भाव मही चंग दव फी न कुक का दव मयाम सी डॉक्टर खक्त की मथौ नते जुना डॉक्टर नर्स टेक्नीशियन मयाम सिगी कंबाइन इफर्ट में दरकार ले डॉक्टर में थमगे हरगदी फैसिलिटी सिसु मतिक चाना थमबेबा माना तमजरूरी बखरदो पब्लिक की सर्विस ता खैगे रिफ्लेक्ट होनबा कन्वर्ट होनबा माजी याम दरकार नि न्यू ईयर अनोबला इव 2015 सिगी होर पसिदगी अनोबा हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम में हौदोगा मणिपुर दा हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम से भगत पाएना ईश्वर की चरी.
Wooden and bamboo electric posts and 16 mm electric wires of Kiamgai, Taukok Makha under Kairao Assembly constituency has been a source for electricity in the area for years. Manipur State Power Distribution Company Limited has now started replacing the wooden post with iron post. Vice President of All India Trinamool Congress Committee M.I. Khan said the replacement of electric post was carried out after consulting with the authority concerned. The difficulties faced earlier while connecting electric wires will now be solved. He will now take up initiatives to connect drinking water and develop playground in the area, he said. A man who tried to break the ATM booth of UBI kept behind the special ward of RIMS hospital and loot money from it has been caught by the security guards of the hospital. The man who would have been a looter has been identified as R.K. Rocky, son of late R.K. Ratan of Sagolban Mabudho Mantri Laikai. Rocky has been handed over to Lamphel police station. A man who is said to be a hunter in the forest has been accidentally shot by his own gun, causing grievous injury. He has been admitted to RIMS hospital. The injured man has been identified as Lalmong Mar, 23, of Pejol village in Churachandpur district. MLA of Wangkai Assembly constituency Y. Irabot has categorically stated that the state government has not released and is unable to release any notification showing the total number of non-indigenous people living in Manipur, while inner line permit system is a state issue. While solving a big issue, scholars need to be consulted, try to understand the issue from them and proceed towards solving the issue. He said this at the inaugural function of Chingmerong Rongmei Village, Ngaikai Hall at the village today. MLA Irabot also inaugurated the 6-day-long Chingmerong Rongmei Gangai celebration. The oldest resident of the village offered holy wine and inaugurated the celebration. A representative of the village, Magu Rongmei, Secretary of Pay Authority R. Dimrai, and villagers took part in the function. Addressing the gathering, MLA Irabot further said, there are 7 Kabui villages in Wangkai Assembly constituency, of which Chingmerong Rongmei village is one that has settled for a very long period. We should think carefully before doing something, he said. The second Huidrom Money State Level Cash Award Painting Competition cum 6th Ima Imoinu Worshipping Ceremony was held at Saudong Pung Lampak yesterday. The ceremony was held under the aegis of Ningombam Angauton Memorial Trust, Wangkai Kongba Laisram Laikai. Former Minister Vivek Raj Wangkai, member of Bamon Kampu Zilla Parishad Golmei, Katungma, and President of the Trust, Ningombam Ibohal were present at the ceremony. The painting competition was held in 3 categories on the theme Pidamningai Oiba Manipuri Nupi Ama. Onia Konsam won the first position in the class 1 to 3 category, Osia Konsam in class 4 to 7 category, and Sanatomba Moirangtem won the first prize in class 8 to 10 category. President of the Trust and Ibohal said, making the growing students studious is very important. May the state be prosperous and peaceful, he wished. Now let's take a look at the national and international news. About Akodara in Gujarat, Sabarkantha district chosen by ICICI Bank as a digital village, Modi said it had a cattle hostel which had contributed immensely to improving incomes and cleanliness in the village. There are people from a village in Sabarkantha who have joined us. This village is unique because it also has a cattle hostel, he said. He said more and more villages across India would adopt this model soon. Pakistani troops targeted villages and 13 border outposts in heavy shelling since Friday night along the border in Katwa and Samba districts in Jammu and Kashmir. According to latest reports, 1 civilian has been killed and 9 others injured in the Pakistani firing and shelling along the international border. Pakistani troops resorted to unprovoked and heavy firing and mortar shelling on posts and civilian areas along IB in Samba and Katwa districts since 9:30 hours last night. Inspector General of BSF Rakesh Sharma told PTI. BSF troops gave a befitting reply, resulting in exchanges which stopped at 3 a.m. in the morning, the IG said, adding that Pakistan again started mortar shelling and firing targeting civilian areas since 7 a.m. and it is going on intermittently. He said that all BOPs in 3 battalion areas of Samba and Hiranagar subsectors in Katwa district were targeted. Indian Coast Guard ships and aircrafts are continuing operations to search for wreckage and dead bodies in the area where they intercepted a Pakistani boat on the intervening night of December 31st and January 1st. Coast Guard IG Kuldeep Singh on Saturday said, in the afternoon of December 31st, we had positively identified a suspected boat 265 km southwest of Porbandar. We tried to stop the boat and communicate with it, but there was no response from the boat. They switched on the light for some time, and when we saw that those on board did not look like fishermen, the boat did not respond to repeated signals, but after some time they themselves blew up the boat, he said. A 22-year-old woman was allegedly abducted and gang-raped by 4 men at gunpoint in Darala area of Meerut, police said. The incident took place on December 25th when the woman had gone to relieve herself in a nearby forest, Darala Station House Order Janak Singh Pundir said. The 4 men abducted her at gunpoint and took her to a vacant house, where they took turns to rape her, he added. The accused released her the next morning and threatened to kill her entire family if she told anyone about the incident, the SHO said. The woman told her family about the incident, who then complained to the police. We have registered a complaint against the 4 men and sent the reports of the woman's medical test to the magistrate. All 4 belong to the women's village, Meerut SSP Onkar Singh said. The police said that the 4 men have been identified as Amit, Vikas, Balkar and Ankit. Recovery teams have found 2 big parts of AirAsia flight 8501, which crashed into the sea last weekend with 162 people on board, Indonesia's top search official said today. Search and Rescue Agency Chief Bambang Solistio told reporters that the huge relief operation came across the objects in the Java Sea off the island of Borneo late on Friday night. With the discovery of an oil spill and 2 big parts of the aircraft, I can assure you these are the parts of the AirAsia plane we have been looking for, Solistio told reporters in the capital Jakarta. He said the larger of the objects was around 10 meters by 5 meters, 32 feet by 16 feet. After nearly a week of searching for the victims of AirAsia Flight 8501, rescue teams battling monsoon rains had their most successful day today, more than tripling the number of bodies pulled from the Java Sea, some still strapped to their seats. Of the 30 corpses recovered so far, 21 were found today, many of them by a U.S. Navy ship, according to officials. The Airbus A320 carrying 162 passengers and crew went down on Sunday, halfway into a flight from Surabaya, Indonesia's second largest city, to Singapore. Minutes before losing contact, the pilot told air traffic control he was approaching threatening clouds, but was denied permission to climb to a higher altitude because of heavy air traffic. It remains unclear what caused the plane to plunge into the sea. The accident was AirAsia's first since it began operations in 2001, quickly becoming one of the region's most popular low-cost carriers. The United States on Friday imposed new sanctions on North Korean government officials and the country's defense industry for a cyber attack against Sony, insisting that Pyongyang was to blame despite lingering doubts by the cyber community. The White House warned that this was just the opening move in the U.S. response. While the sanctions will have limited effect as North Korea already is under tough U.S. sanctions over its nuclear program, American officials portrayed them as a swift, decisive response to North Korean behavior they said had gone far over the line. Never before has the U.S. imposed sanctions on another nation in direct retaliation for a cyber attack on an American company. Before we end the top stories once again, NABARD electrifies villages in the remote hill areas of Manipur through micro-hydel power project. And instead of transferring only doctors, staff whose role in treating the patients is equally important should also be transferred. That's all we have for now, but we'll be back with more updates.